U.S. Economy by Emily Richter and Emily Weber.
How is the economy today? What is real GDP? The total market value of all new final goods and services produced within a nation's borders in a year. For quarter 3, the U.S. real GDP growth rate is 3.1%. In 2009, it was 2.6%. Therefore, the U.S. real GDP growth rate has improved. The goal real GDP rate is 3%. Therefore, we can conclude the real GDP is on track.
Unemployment. The unemployment rate is the percent of people who are out of work but are actively looking for a job. The January 2011 unemployment rate was 9.1%. The January 2012 unemployment rate was 8.3%, and the current unemployment rate is 7.8%. The current unemployment rate is still relatively high, but compared to the last 2 years, it has gone down a significant amount. The economy is recovering slowly and unevenly from a recession. The current U.S. economy is in a recessionary gap. We know this because current output is less than potential output. Causes of this are underutilizing resources, high unemployment, which we know as 7.8%, and low inflation, which was 1.8% for 2012. When AD decreases, price level and RGDP go down and unemployment goes up. When SRAS goes down, price level goes up, RGDP goes down, and unemployment goes up. When AD increases, price level and RGDP increase and unemployment goes down. When RSAS increases, the price level goes down, RGDP goes up, and unemployment goes down. And in an inflationary gap, current output would be greater than potential output.
Compared to the last 4 years, the economy has improved. The inflation rates in 2008 was 0.1%, and in 2012, it's 1.8%. The unemployment rate in 2008 was 5%, and now it's 7.8%.
Deficit is when government spending is greater than tax revenues in a given year. Debt is the sum of all deficits minus what is paid off, and surplus is when government spending is less than tax revenues. The last one was during Clinton's presidency. The 2012 deficit is $1.1 trillion, and the U.S. national debt is $16.4 trillion. Deficit from 2009 is $1.41 trillion, and in 2011 is $1.3 trillion. Although the deficit has been decreasing, it is still really high. Problems with a high deficit and large national debt include increased interest payments, crowding out, and unwilling lenders.
What has President Obama done? He created a stimulus package to create 1.9 million jobs. In 2011, he signed a bipartisan compromise that cut $1 trillion in spending over the next decade. He wanted to end the Bush tax cuts for the top 2%, but was unable to do so in his first term.
The fiscal cliff. The fiscal cliff refers to the automatic tax increases and spending cuts that would have occurred at the end of 2012. However, the president and the Republicans failed to come to an agreement. So, taxes will now only increase for the top 1% of Americans. The debt ceiling did not rise, and the across-the-board automatic spending cuts have been delayed for 2 months.
President Obama versus Speaker Boehner. President Obama wants to cut taxes for the middle class. He wants to increase taxes for the wealthiest 2% of Americans making over $250,000, and he does not feel the need to reform entitlement programs such as Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. Speaker Boehner does not want to increase any taxes, and he feels that entitlement programs such as Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security need to be reformed. President Obama versus Speaker Boehner again. President Obama follows a more Keynesian economic theory. Keynesian economists believe the economy takes a long time to self-correct, so the government should intervene. Speaker Boehner follows a more classical approach. Classical economists believe the economy in the long run will self-correct.
Do these policies follow the theories? Not exactly. When in a recessionary gap, government spending should increase or taxes should decrease to increase aggregate demand, increase the price level, our GDP, and decrease unemployment. In an inflationary gap, government spending should decrease or taxes should increase to decrease aggregate demand, decrease the price level, and increase unemployment and decrease our GDP.